Hey there, we're gonna be doing something a little bit different today. Today we're we're in front of my door. At any rate, let's talk about fight scenes and, you know, why they're super annoying. The main thing that I have against a lot of fight scenes is when they're used incorrectly or way too often. I'll mostly be focusing on talking about Glitchtale, but just while I'm talking about this pretty much applies in general to any story, any movie, anything like that. How do you use a fight scene incorrectly? Well, actually, we'd have to figure out what the purpose of any fight scene is. Well, what's the purpose of any scene? The purpose of any scene in a movie or book is to just move the story forward, develop your characters, story stuff. If you've got a scene that goes nowhere, doesn't tell you anything, doesn't develop anyone, it's pointless. It's filler, it's wasting my time, and I don't like wasting my time. It's not like I have anything important to do all day, but still, I don't like wasting my time. I'm so impatient. Please help. So at any rate, a fight scene is basically just a fancier version of any other kind of scene, so you really have to just kind of think of it like that. But here's why fight scenes are really important. Fight scenes should probably just be used for climaxes for your entire story, or climaxes for a character arc, or a turning point in the story. The thing that I'm trying to say is, if you want to use a fight scene to convey some kind of big importance, you're not going to be able to do that by putting millions of fight scenes in the middle of your story. It's just not going to happen. Let's say that there's two characters that just absolutely hate each other, and they have conflicting ideals, and the end of their arc is they eventually become friends. So you would use a fight scene at the climax of their arc or at a turning point in their arc. That's when you get to see all of this stuff that we've been building up to, all of these things that these characters hate about each other being slammed together all at once. It's good stuff. That's a good way to use a fight scene. But when you just have them fighting constantly, the fight scenes just start to not matter. It just starts to seem like, oh, it's just what they do all the time. Why should I care if they're fighting now? And that's a feeling that you don't want your audience to feel when you're in these sequences, which is exactly why I hate Glitchtale so much. Now granted, the story of Glitchtale has its own problems. It's kind of a broken story. It's a little weird, I'm not gonna lie. It is good, but the main thing that Glitchtale seems to kind of mess up on it a lot is that every single episode there's another fight scene. It's ridiculous. Each fight scene has to be bigger or grander or have higher stakes, but I don't feel the stakes when every single battle seems to have the exact same outcome. The characters lose a little bit, then they become overpowered and kick the antagonist's butt, and then the antagonist is like, they're so strong, and then they flee, and then blah 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 blah, more stuff happen, plot, whatever. Maybe some good stuff here and there. Oh, wait, another fight scene. Hey, she's back and she's even stronger now. Do you see a problem here? Why do they have to keep cycling around and getting more overpowered just so they can seem like they're threatening? That's the problem with the fight scene. I pretty much know exactly what's going to happen in this story, and it's not fun. Your story can be predictable. Your readers or your audience can know where your story is going. That's perfectly fine, because at the end of the day, it's not about where it all ends. It's all about the journey of getting there, which is why I love stories that their plot twisty moment happens in the beginning of the story, so we already know what's gonna happen, but it's more about how we got there, and those stories are really fun. But when every fight scene is the same, everything that happens is the same, and it feels like we're cycling over and over again, at least it might be about the journey, but I'm bored now. I'm gonna go do something else. I'm gonna go eat a sandwich. In fact, I really want to eat a PBJ right now. So it seems like maybe I shouldn't even use a fight scene in the first place. wrong. You should definitely use a fight scene. Fight scenes are really fun. Like I said, they're really good at climaxes. If you have the chance to turning the story in a certain way, but you don't exactly know how, a fight scene is a good way to fall back on. How would I rewrite Glitchtale? I would keep the main mystery elements. I would probably remove a lot of the characters because, oh my god, there's so many of them. The main focus here is that the scene in which Sans dies isn't exactly a fight scene. It almost turned into one, but I'm glad that it didn't. So here's how I would do it. Instead, I would have Betty revealed to be evil and kill Sans because, yeah, that's kind of important. And I would make sure that he stays dead because why do people revive dead characters so often? I don't like it when dead characters come back alive for some contrived reason. That's so annoying. Back on topic. After that, I would have the characters trying to fend off the attacks from Betty. And, you know, I would have sequences where Betty is killing off the main cast. Slowly, but, you know, still killing off the main cast. And we get to know a little bit more about what they can do. The villain feels more powerful and more intense because the villain is literally killing people. They're not really gaining any new powers, they're just always seeming to have the upper hand, and that is really powerful. Instead, with all of these fight scenes, it just feels like every single time they have to get more and more powers just so they can, you know, get on the same level, and that's boring. It feels like the story is literally going nowhere. I probably shouldn't be touching my hair. It's gonna get really oily and disgusting. We can have one fight scene and Betty loses and she hides away and gets another power. But I only want to do that once. I don't even really want to do it that at all. If anything, I would really just have it kind of continuously build as more and more people start dying and more plot points get introduced and more and more threats are coming in, and it all just starts to get more and more intense, and there's a lot of stakes. Furthermore, the antagonist would actually feel kind of threatening, and it would be genuinely entertaining to actually see the final fight scene go down when everything is colliding together. The supporting cast are fighting off against the minions or whatever, while the main cast like Kara, Frisk, and Asriel? I'm not really sure what's going on right now. I haven't, like, watched it recently. I remember watching the most recent episode, and it was the most disappointing thing ever. I hated that episode. It was so boring. What was I saying? I genuinely forgot. You know, whatever happens from there on happens. If the main cast loses, you still got a good story. It doesn't really matter if they win or not. You know, you can convey any message that you want, whether they won or not. And if they win, cool. And furthermore, it doesn't really have to be a surprise whether they win or not. It's just something to enjoy. It's once again, it's about the journey, getting to this point, and enjoying the fight scene. And you can really enjoy these fight scenes because they're action-packed and they're fun and all of that. But you can't enjoy them when that's constantly what you're getting. And any other scene seems like boring filler. And you people who are writing fight scenes for your stories, take notes. For instance, let's go over to Steven Universe, and by the way, I don't like Steven Universe. They really messed up that show. But you know what they did really well? The fight scenes. The Monster of the Week format makes it feel like, oh, if they're fighting just a regular other gem, whatever. No stakes, all good, fun and games. Let's go home now. I want to eat some chips. The fight between Garnet and Jasper was pretty fun. Although we kind of knew that Garnet had the upper hand, we had an amazing first couple of episodes of them building up to Jasper taking over and they were stuck in the prison. So having a fight scene in there was definitely a good way to kind of close that. And even before that, with the fight with Lapis, we have this character who we have pretty much no knowledge of other than their gem was kind of stuck on a mirror thing. And then they pop out and it's a turning point for their character. We're getting to see how that character is, you know, functioning, what they're like, what other gems who are from Homeworld are like. And she's a giant fire, despite her power being water. And then later on, we have the fight between the diamonds, which... but we still had a lot of buildup. Could you imagine how hyped people were just to see like what actual powers this woman whose hand showed up in one episode and had everyone freaking out over? That's engaging. We didn't get a fight scene with her until the very end, and it was only one. Admittedly, it wasn't a very good fight scene. Admittedly, it kind of wasn't even a fight scene at all. It was really just a stupid ending, but you get my point. People were hyped and let down, but people were hyped. And that's how you write a good fight scene. You don't litter them everywhere. You use them at your climax. You use it at a turning point. Don't overuse fight scenes. Ever. Stupid. Man, it's hot in my room. I'm like legit getting sweaty. This is disgusting. So I'm kind of sitting alone in my Discord server. I need people. I'm alone. If you want to join my Discord server, and I highly recommend you do because I'm very active on Discord. So if you want to talk to me on there, you can. I'm nervous. I have a link in the description. Maybe I'll put it on the screen. I don't really know. That sounds like a kind of bad idea, but I'm Vincent Does Things. Goodbye.